Johnny had a bit of a problem on the last event, but it seems to be going well today.
Yeah, there at the Nelspruit we had a damaged intercooler pipe which lost us a few horsepower, and we didn't pick it up till after the event. We were struggling, but now we seem to be going all right down here.
Kuhn was still first on the road after the break as he headed out to the first stage in the famed Longmore forests. Mind the whistleblower. Kuhn had not been happy with the setup of his car on the tar stages, which he felt had cost him some time, but he was back up to speed on the dirt, setting the second fastest time in stage 6. Without this stall, he might have been fastest, but the crowd would have been less appreciative. He went on to win the next stage. Dust is usually a problem during the night forest stages, but recent rains in the Port Elizabeth area negated that problem, and the roads were quite damp and wet in places. Many drivers have been against night rallying in recent times, but access to the forests was only allowed after 5 p.m, forcing the organisers to run in the dark. Damso grew up rallying in the forests at night, thus he is quite comfortable driving with lights. It showed in the times as he took the stage win by 3 seconds from Kuhn. However, Damso was not at ease with the handling of his car in stage 7 after some setup changes. It cost him 28 seconds and dropped him to third overall. Habich went into stage 6 with a 7-second lead over Damso and was determined to hold onto it overnight. He was driving with all his usual speed and flair, but it was not enough to secure him the stage win. He was third fastest, 6 seconds slower than Damso, and now led the rally by just 1 second. However, second fastest on the next stage, just 2 seconds slower than Kuhn, saw him stretch that lead to 27 seconds. Many Volkswagen employees volunteered for crowd control duty, and they seemed to be having a great deal of fun. A string of minor problems meant Lawrence had found it difficult to get into a groove and was slightly off the pace. Nevertheless, he was joint fifth going into stage 6, just 15 seconds off the leader. He would lose a further 21 seconds on this stage, but nonetheless closed the gap to fourth placed Gemmell to just 2 seconds. Duplessis is a fierce opponent of night rallying. Along with several other drivers, he took a wrong turn in stage 7 and lost a huge chunk of time. Some of those that got lost complained on safety grounds and were controversially awarded the slowest class time plus 10 seconds. The decision let a lot of teams off the hook. Stage 8 was another blast through the streets of Jeffreys Bay to entertain the public. With the World Championship surfing event on the go, the town was packed with people, and they warmed to the spectacle of the cars. The course was a little over 1.5 kilometers long, taking a little less than 2 minutes to complete. Kuhn was 3 seconds slower than the fastest time, with Habich, Damso and Gemmell setting the equal second fastest time, just a second slower than the fastest time. After this stage, cars moved to the Van Staden's Pass for the final stage of the day. Kuhn and Habich set the equal fastest time, some 4 seconds faster than Damso. That left the 2 BP Volkswagen Golfs at the head of the field overnight. Lawrence is always very quick through these tight and twisty stages, and this one was no exception as he took the victory by 1 second over Habich, Damso and Gemmell. Becken had set some good stage times and was relishing a trouble-free run. He was comfortably ensconced in 6th overall and well ahead in his class. With 3 BP Volkswagens in the top 6, including 2 at the head of the field, it was a dream start for the event sponsor. Blackman was in a solid 7th place and still entertaining the crowds. The BMW is the only one of its kind in world rallying and, being the only rear-wheel drive vehicle in the field, is a perennial crowd favourite thanks to its sideways style and glorious sound. With the bulk of the rally still to go, just 30 seconds separated the leading trio. Behind them, Gemmell and Lawrence were tied for 4th.
2 Golfs at the front of the field must be good for the sponsor.
I think so, and it's also nice that Sir there. It's going to be a big dice all day. And like we said earlier, golf seemed to be on the right track again. It's surprising that Serge must have lost a bit of time in the one stage last night, because he actually won the first one and then dropped a few seconds on the next one, so he's 30 seconds adrift. And big dice today, I think. Gemmell is still in touch, but a few seconds behind. So I think it's going to be a three-card fight all the way to the finish.
We've seen there isn't much room for error and people dropping time. The pace that everyone's driven at the head of the field this year. Obviously, Yanni's in a good position, 15 seconds over Enzo, but we can expect all three to be flat out from the first stage this morning.
Yes, the thing about this area is it's quite rocky in places, and it's quite easy to get punctures. And I think they're all going to be on wet weather tyres, which is more susceptible to punctures. So any puncture could upset the apple cart at the top, and it can change the order quite quickly. But like you said, it's going to be a dice all the way through.
Interesting this year. Last year we spoke a lot about the reliability or unreliability, especially early in the season. This year the cars have all been pretty reliable, and it's actually made for good action at the front of the field.
I think it's a case of they have to do that, because if you lose anything, you're not in the rally. So all the cars being reliable, yes, touch wood. But you know, it just makes for a good rally. What we missed, the four-wheel drives aren't really in touch, and last year they were leading at this point in time. Skalgate to withdraw, he's quite good last night. But Gemmell, I thought, would be a bit closer. Having said that, he might have had problems at night, dust or whatever the case might be. And I think he's going to be around there today.
He's got about a minute, I think, or just over a minute to pull back. Is that feasible for him to do?
At the pace they're going, I don't think anybody's going to pull a minute on anybody else. It's going to be a matter of maybe 10 or 20 seconds. So unless there's a bit of drama up front, I think he's got a hell of a job ahead of him.
The first stage of day 2 turned the rally on its head. A stone smashed a rear brake pipe off leader Harvick's Golf, reducing it to front brakes only. It cost him 33 seconds and the lead. Making matters worse for Volkswagen, teammate Kuhn suffered a puncture 6 kilometers into the 27-kilometer stage, costing him a minute to Damso and dropping him to third. And the stage would also claim Fecken with gearbox failure. Damso set the fastest stage time, followed by Gemmell and Lorenz to take the lead. Stage 11 further cemented the Toyota driver's advantage as he took another 5 seconds off Harvick, with Kuhn third fastest, another 5 seconds back. Gemmell was again faster than Lorenz to stretch his advantage over the Toyota for 4th place. Blackman was still going well in 7th, but was coming under pressure from Bem. The top car BMW had run well thus far, allowing Blackman to familiarize himself with the car once again after enjoying very little seat time this season. Bem was also enjoying a relatively trouble-free run, and his confidence in the car was increasing. He was charging after his wrong slot the previous night at the disputed junction had cost him severely. Vulcan had a comfortable class lead and was under no serious threat for class honours, but he was having an almighty tussle with Jack Hubert for overall honours.
Charles, leading your class comfortably. You've had a pretty good event so far.
Yes, Ian, it's been...
Those were not over yet. Being first on the road, he came across a few surprises in stage 12. First, it was the cattle.
204, keep right. First right on the downhill, first right downhill. The open hairpin right, 100.
The cows cost him time to Damso, but there was more to come. He encountered a spectator's car coming from the opposite direction. The hazards of rallying. These eager fans were totally unaware of Harvick's woes, but were enjoying the warm sunshine. Meanwhile, Harvick continued pushing as hard as he could. He would lose 5 seconds to Damso, but under the circumstances, it was a superb performance. Let's watch him at work for the final part of the stage, and note the huge crowds on the stage. After his earlier problems, Kuhn knew he had no chance of challenging for the lead. With a relatively healthy gap to Gemmell, he just wanted to ensure a finish. Damso was at the top of his game and took his third stage win on the trot. He was chasing his 66th rally win, a feat that would put him level with the all-time record of Sarel van der Merwe. Gemmell had opened up a gap to Lawrence, but there was not much in it. This spin after clipping a bank on a narrow piece of road did not help his cause. Lost 16 seconds to the Toyota and was now just 8 seconds ahead. He was fortunate, however, as the spin could so easily have spelt the end of his rally had the car slipped off the road. He was a little more cautious after this. Lawrence was having a solid, if not spectacular, outing. He was losing time consistently to the leading Class A8 cars, but was once again hot on the heels of Gemmell. Was still fighting Bem for position, but